It is rivalry week across college football, and that means the ACC as well. We bring in Mike McDaniel from inside the ACC to break down a weekend that starts on Friday, Mike. We've got North Carolina State, the Wolfpack, a down year at 5-6. Dave Doran, of course, getting the team to postseason play, but he's going to have to earn it this time around on the final weekend. North Carolina looking to win and then hope for the best with Virginia Tech in the Commonwealth Cup. The Tar Heels come in at 8-3. Nice season, but it's going to go for naught to a certain extent if they can't get some help on Saturday. So help us out on this one.
Yeah, around noon on Friday is about the time that I'll be fully recovered from what's going to happen tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. NC State, North Carolina, yeah, like you said, it's an interesting game here because NC State has been really, really bad for the better part of the last month and a half. Really, ever since that Notre Dame win, they've really struggled, and you can say what you want about that game in the monsoon and the remnants of Hurricane Matthew. But North Carolina, I don't know. They're just not really garnering the respect right now that I think they deserve. A comparable record, obviously, to a team like Florida State and getting no love in the college football playoff rankings. I think North Carolina is easily one of the top 20 teams in the country, but I think a lot of people wrote off the Tar Heels after their loss to Duke a couple weeks back. Pretty tough to recover from something like that. And a team like Virginia Tech is obviously struggling with that same sort of issue after losing to Georgia Tech 2 weeks ago. But heading into Saturday, obviously North Carolina needs some help. The best they can finish here potentially is a tie for first. They can't win the Coastal outright unless Virginia Tech is going to lose to Virginia on Saturday. So Friday afternoon, North Carolina is going to have to go out and try to get a win against NC State on Senior Day. Quarterback Mitch Trubisky is actually expected to walk out with the seniors on Senior Day, and that's a pretty clear sign that he'll be heading to the NFL after the spectacular season that he's had, over 3,000 yards, 25 touchdown passes. He's been brilliant for North Carolina. I think the story here is, will NC State be able to keep up offensively with the Tar Heels? I think they'll be able to if and only if they run the ball well. Matt Days has obviously been a pretty solid story all season long for NC State, and an offense that hasn't been as consistent as they would have liked, especially in the middle part of their schedule throughout October and early November. But when they've been at their best, they've been able to run and throw the ball effectively. Matt Days has been a big part of that, as he's been for his entire career at NC State. He's over 1,000 yards yet again, 8 touchdowns on the season. They'll have to get him going in the game against North Carolina, against a rushing defense that, look, I mean, for the last 2 or 3 years, Mark, we've talked about extensively, they just haven't been able to stop anybody from running on them, and that's going to be another story on Saturday. Now, throwing the football is a whole nother story here. Ryan Finley, for NC State. He's thrown the ball pretty well this year, but he's struggled when he's gotten under pressure. If North Carolina is able to get a really good pass rush on NC State on Saturday, I think North Carolina can win this game running away if they're able to make NC State one-dimensional. If they're able to stop the run, make Finley throw, get some pressure on him, I think North Carolina is going to have a good day all around. NC State, to their credit, they've played pretty solid defense all season long. But I think the issue they're going to run into is they're facing an offense right now with Mitch Trubisky playing really just as well as he's played all year long. Ryan Switzer has been extremely dynamic in the slot. They got all the weapons out on the edge. And then, of course, Elijah Hood running the football for them. So this can't be a game where North Carolina, goes away from the run. They're going to have to pound the rock with Elijah Hood. That's something that we've seen plague them in the past when they've been upset. It's, hey, you didn't get the ball to arguably your best playmaker on offense as much as you should have. I think North Carolina is going to have to run the ball on Saturday to win, and I think they will win at home on Senior Day against NC State. They're 11-point favorites. I think they'll find a way to cover that spread, but it'll be a competitive game. I think NC State won't go down without a fight, and, of course, they're fighting for bowl eligibility here on Friday. So, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens, but I think North Carolina is going to find a way to win there on Friday afternoon and keep their hopes alive to potentially get to the ACC Championship.
I can't imagine North Carolina State hanging in this game without a huge day, as you allude to, from Matt Days. The Carolina defense, porous against the rush, pretty stout against the pass. Matt Days would need to factor in support of Ryan Finley, where North Carolina can pretty much just throw it 3 out of every 4 plays and be successful, considering Trubisky and the wide receiver core that they bring to town, and looking to go to 9-3 this game at Chapel Hill.